This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Bev's Video Kingdom is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Bev's Video Kingdom really is brought to you by...
What the fuck?
What's up, dude?
One of my renters broke the toilet again. That dude takes giant shits. Now I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Why don't you hire a property management company or something to take care of that stuff?
Because they suck, and they take 10%.
You know, our dude Hank owns and manages Heritage Realty Partners. I think he said he only charges 5%, and he visits each property at least once a month.
That's right. He's always posting beers from the road. You have his number?
Actually, I do. His personal number is 805-451-5734.
Perfect. Now he can deal with my renter's big shits.
Heritage Realty Partners.
For all your property management and investment needs.
I wanna be at Beverly's, bringing me home with my movies, just to blind by, no reason why. I love this scene. It's Zach and Brad, your favorite podcast. Let's start this thing. Woo!
Forgot to hit my cymbal.
Oh, these drum fools over there. They're just drumming away. And
way to drum off.
You have a professional drummer and you have a guitarist.
A drunk guy.
Who's also drunk. And they were trying to out-drum each other.
I can fake drum pretty good until you start involving the feet, and then I just look like a complete clown.
Zach won right there, though. I think Zach is crazy, though, because he plays the guitar with his feet and then plays the drum with his hands. Yeah. I don't think you can do that, Scotch Bet, can you?
Well, I play the bass drum with my dick.
What I was thinking is we were a lot like Will Ferrell when he challenged Chad Smith.
Yeah.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers
drum off. Yeah. I think Will Ferrell should that's what he's going to do now. He's going to take over and start drumming for Chad Smith.
So you know what my favorite moment is when Brennan actually gets to sit at the drum set and gets to play for a little bit, and he gets every person's reaction to playing a drum set for the first time. You're like, I can't make anything sound good. It's so fucking hard. Like, I'm just going to give up. Like, you sit down at the drum set, you're like, oh, it looks so much fun. All you do is hit these things. Okay. And then you just cannot make anything sound decent.
Well, hey, we're the Bev's Video Kingdom podcast. And while we talk about ourselves for a little bit, I do want to give Scotch Beck a shout out because he is on Thursday nights. You can catch him at the Ranch Hand in Houston, California, where he not only sings songs that he wrote, but he also fucking plays the drums with his feet while he's doing all of that.
Not just bass drum either, like these pussies that are playing bass drum now.
Yeah, he just kind of little thump, and he's not recording samples and looping it and then just like having some computer do that shit. He is playing a bass drum and a snare with his feet while he guitars, while he sings songs that he wrote from all of his emotional moments of his life.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. No,
is it only
those times?
Is it only Billy Joel songs from the late 80s?
No,
it's mostly love songs from fourth grade romances.
Right. I dug deep and pulled out some stuff from the past, and that pain really brought out some great ballads, and that's what I do. But I also do covers, some fun stuff.
I got to give him a shout out though, because we went and saw him a couple weeks ago, and we got stuck in eating dinner. It was like pretty hot, so we were eating inside, and by the time we got outside, he had already just about finished his first set, and then the second set happens, and my daughter loves one of his songs, and she's like, "Can you play this?" He's like, "Oh, I already played it, but." No.
Hell yeah, I'm going to play it.
He went ahead and played it again because he's a badass. He's a great dude with a great heart. So and a great dick from what I've heard. So and the fact that I'm talking about that in the context of talking about my daughter. Yeah. God, I'm a mess.
Things might have just got weird.
What's happening right now?
Wow.
All right. Hey,
what the hell are we doing here?
Welcome to a draft episode of Bev's Video Kingdom.
Should we talk about the network that we're on after we talk about Scott's Dick for a little bit more?
Yeah, we are the Deluxe Edition Network podcast. Part of the Deluxe Edition Network. We are the podcast of the year.
Home of Scotch Beck's
reigning
cock.
Champions. Scotch Beck, he did have the belt around his dick just recently.
Oh, dude, it's
did
like
you see the picture
ring.
online?
Yeah, it's like one of those leather cock rings.
I was like, dude, what are you doing? But it fit. It was a little girthy. It was nice. So the Deluxe Edition Network is our podcast home, where you can find all sorts of podcasts, including the podcast of the month for August. Scotchbeck, what are they?
We have Quad Pro Quo. Quad Pro Quo is a weekly film podcast inspired by the quid pro quo scene in Silence of the Lambs, hosted by two couples who also happen to be friends and live next door to each other. New episodes drop every Thursday, wherever you podcast.
We're going to throw out that we think you should call your podcast Pod Pro Quo.
Pod
Can't
say that.
Pod Pro Quo. In case y'all are taking notes still.
Okay. And then the Broken System podcast. Many times, police focus on a narrative based on what should be. The spouse or family member did it. The person is over a certain age. They probably ran away. Or eyewitness testimony that points in a direction, and they run with it. They hyper-focus without ever looking at other options. What happens when they get it wrong? Someone is wrongly convicted, leads are missed, killers go free, leaving questions unanswered. We are here to bring some of these cases to light, help right some wrongs, and make a difference.
Oh, so it's about real shit.
So yeah, so this Broken System podcast, definitely a different vibe than us assholes talking about my cock.
Yeah. Deluxe. That's the Deluxe Edition Network. You get all sorts of stuffs.
We
check it out.
Great
go
stuff.
to the website. Go to the Facebook page. Go to the Instagram. You can find all sorts of different types of interesting podcasts, including Bev's Video Kingdom and our friends, the Real Drunks, who are in Oakdale as well. So we're here for a draft, guys. Do you guys know what day it is?
See, it kills me every time because I always think there's going to be a big snare hit at the end there, but there's not.
No.
That's Scotch Beck, legit drumming Scotch Beck vocals right there, too. God, that 80s growl. Anyway, hey, just so you know, we are here as a trio of actual official BVK members. We are missing our friend Nate again. He is what is he doing, Zach? What did you hear from him? He wrote you a letter.
I liked it better when we were talking about how people just shit themselves when they're not on.
That's why I assume whenever someone's gone, I assume that's what's going on.
Hey, what voice is that?
That's our friend Walter Ramirez. He is back again. And before we get into it, really, what did Nate say in his letter? I need to know.
God damn it, Brad! I don't know, dude. He's not here. That motherfucker. You got to give me a bigger warning than that. Put me on the spot.
I thought you could just drop something off the cuff.
I usually can.
Okay, we'll just say it's personal. It was
too many of Walter's Mexican brews.
Okay, well, it was personal. Okay, it was a very personal letter, and you kind of got teary eyed when you read it. So
it's hard to read. Sure. The letters are all smudged by my tears. I've been keeping it right next to my heart. It's hot outside. It's all sweaty.
But so that means rather than do a 3-person draft, we decided to ask somebody who has. This is going to be our first 2-time guest drafter.
Oh,
and
wow.
Also, Walter Ramirez is the one person as a guest drafter who finished dead last.
Yeah, thanks. Let's say that one more time. Let everyone remember.
He finished 4th out of 4.
He's the only one that's done that?
Yeah.
Somebody else did.
At least
we had Carrie on, and she tied with me.
Oh, that's
for
right.
last.
Okay.
Josh came in 3rd place, right?
Josh came in 3rd. Jake came in 3rd, and Matt came in 3rd.
Okay.
Insane that Jake came in 3rd. I'll also say that I guess it's better that you came in 4th out of 4 because
4th out of 3 would be really bad.
The more people, the worse that is, right? Like
I think so. It's more people drafting.
Feels
it's
like
harder
99
to draft
people.
a better team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shit, I got 99.
A 4-person draft is if you finished 4th in a 14 fantasy football league, you're going to be like, I mean, come on. There's 4 teams. Like somebody's got to finish 4th.
Yeah, but if you got 14th in a 14 team,
now you're like, oh, that's a piece
then you're
of
like,
shit.
yeah, exactly. So Walter, pick your head up, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
Got to keep your head
It's
up
all arbitrary,
even when the rogue is hot.
I do have to say though, Walter's been feeding. He's like, I need to get back on there. I need to redeem myself. He's been looking for this opportunity. And when the Step Brothers pod came out last week with Walter on it, he was given the opportunity to draft, and so
and I can't wait not to live up to the expectations.
I will say you've done some research. You said you only have like 37 options for your choices for this draft.
I have a long list. I think that might hurt me, but we'll see. Hank isn't isn't judging, so
that's true.
That might help me out. We've had a few conversations about he and I about how he judged my team, but it is what it is.
Hey, buddy, I'm pulling for you, and I'm really rooting for you to get third place. Join that club of third place. And you'll be
I mean, that's the thing. So one, you would get fourth, and you'd just be doing what you did last time. You could get third like everybody else.
Win-win situation.
Or you have a 50% chance of maybe doing.
You could be the best guest yet. Yeah,
best guest ever. So you can go from the bottom to the top, just like Drake.
I guess he didn't really start from the bottom.
No, he didn't, because he was an actor and had all sorts of.
That's a good comparison.
He's also Canadian,
which gives you all sorts of advantages.
They're obviously on top of us.
All right,
that's how direction.
It's a geography.
Do we have a draft order, Brad?
Well, we haven't even said what the draft is yet.
Oh,
which
that's
is probably important. It's draft day, and because we did Step Brothers last week, we are drafting the most memorable man-child / immature adult character in a movie.
Right.
So we're leaving it up because if you say man-child, we didn't want to say person-child, so we're saying man-child because that's typically what we're probably going to be drafting mostly, but immature adults.
Must be over 18 years old.
Yeah, and we also did talk about some caveats, and I think one of the caveats that we're going to say is basically if somebody has like a mental illness or some type of mental deficiency, then we're going to go ahead and say that's not something we're. It
has to be a choice. No, like their lifestyle needs to be like a chosen.
And we'll also say that we're acting in good faith, that you listener understand that we may get some of these wrong, but we're not trying to pick people that are disabled.
Right. And while you might be able to say that some of these characters you're like, well, they definitely are disabled. So for example, like somebody radio, what was the
be careful here. Be careful here. What are we doing?
I'm saying right like Forrest Gump, I feel like these are folks that are in the movie makes it clear that they have some type of mental deficiency.
One of the most successful entrepreneurs of our time. I don't think so, bro.
Well, he didn't invest that money himself.
That's true. Right. He was in some Apple company,
right?
According to Forrest.
I don't know how.
Some kind of fruit company is what he said. I'm sorry, not Apple company.
Fruit company.
So, we're gonna just try to go. If the movie makes it clear that they have some type of disability, we're going to stay away from those types of characters.
So we're not picking Shia LaBeouf in anything.
Well, I try not to, no matter what we do.
He's obviously got some deficiencies.
Oh boy, yeah, we'll stay away from probably for the most part. I assume
the LaBeouf.
LaBeouf. All right, we do need a draft order because when we draft, we have to have a randomized draft order. And as much as some folks might have after our last draft order want me to get back with ChatGPT, I did not. But I'm keeping it. God. I'm keeping it nice and simple this time. So. Let me go ahead and just randomize this draft order real quick. Okay, I got this. So here's what I did. I went around and talked to some of our family members and friends, and I was like, of these 4 guys that are going to be drafting tonight, who's the most kind of immature? Like, what are the most immature things that? And they created a list, and then they kind of voted on it based on like who's the most immature to who's the least immature.
I like this.
Okay, yeah, my family really knows Walter, so
I was surprised. He's a very well-known person. You would be surprised. All right, so
like he wears shorts to work and he fucking makes beer.
So first,
he sounds pretty immature to me.
They found out about me, and they said that I borrowed my parents' car one time to go to a strip club, and that was actually last week. So when I say one time, last week, and so that's kind of immature, but they rated that the 4th most immature thing.
Mom, I can't take the electric car to the strip club.
that was you?
That was me.
That was you. Okay.
Yeah. We did find out that Walter, the 3rd least immature, or the third most immature.
Oh, okay. So that's number 3. That's a pick 3.
Yeah. The 3rd most immature was wearing their Letterman jacket at least once a week, and that was Walter.
The 3rd least immature.
Most, because we're going to go now to 2nd most to 1st most.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The 3rd most.
I see what you're saying.
Which is the 2nd
the 3rd most man-childish thing to do was wearing their Letterman jacket at least once a week, and Walter, we saw you.
Only to sleep, though.
Oh, yeah.
I just sleep in it. Nothing else.
You just sleep in it. You just think about those good high school memories and it puts you to sleep.
His is
just my Letterman jacket.
All right. Nice. Very nice. The 2nd most immature thing was Let me check this list again. Okay, there we go. Forgot who it was. It was this person uses their family members' streaming passwords, but then also sells them to friends for profit. And that's Zach.
That's the opposite.
That's
of
pretty
the truth.
cold-blooded. You use all your parents' streaming services, and then you also sell those passwords to your friends. That's pretty
Pretty genius idea, actually.
Is it?
I mean, you just give somebody, you're like, hey, $50, you got Netflix for the year.
I know, but isn't Netflix like cracking down on that or something like that?
Yeah, they took it away. Like
figure out-
my parents used to use my Netflix, and now they had to get their own. My mom was not happy about it. Shout out my mom.
Oh, Wendy.
She was
Pay
like,
for that yourself?
she's like texting me like, our Netflix won't work. What is happening? I was like, oh, Netflix cracked down on you guys.
When he actually sold the password to somebody else. And
That's what it was.
So somebody else is using it, and now you got kicked off. That's
Scotch
terrible.
Beck can
I
now
hope they
watch
don't use the same
Dangerous
password for
Liaisons.
other things.
That's true. The
You get my
first
password, you got my whole life. Bro.
the first most immature was Scotch Beck, and it's because you've been doing karate in the garage since you were 31 years old.
Can't you tell by this physique?
Yeah. He gets in it. You get in the garage and you go out there and you just start kicking away. You're kicking fruit. You're kicking almonds. Seeing how far you can kick them into the canal and stuff from here. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, my leg never getting above my knee.
It's just kind of a little weak punt.
It's like a 1-inch punch. It's all the powers.
So yeah, all that karate in the garage you've been doing that we found out about. We saw the videos.
I thought for sure it was the 40-minute monologue that we get every time we come over here about not touching his drum set. Every fucking time.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. It's so calls to me.
All have to put our nuts on his drum set.
I think that might be the photo for this episode.
Oh, just 4 nutsacks on there? I got a good nutsack bit coming up.
All right. Well,
Actually, it was last week. Never
yeah,
mind.
it was last week. That was a great one.
God damn
I
it.
was dying.
funny.
That was great stuff. All right.
I love you guys.
We are messy. That's all right. But it is time to draft the most memorable man, child, immature adult. So if you don't know, that draft order was first pick's going to Scotch, second pick to Zach, Walter third.
It's a good sign.
It's putting the pressure on you right now, giving you the worst draft position.
It's on a winning streak.
It is on a winning streak, though. So that is truth. So it's not impossible, as I proved a draft ago.
I proved last.
I'll find a way to ruin it.
But and then I'm the fourth pick, so that's how it's going to go.
Man,
Go, Brad's like, I'm the first this year.
I mean, hey,
I was the first ever.
I know, but that was a long time
Long
ago.
time ago.
If we're looking at the bet
First
metrics
and
for this
only
season,
this month.
it is me.
All right. So
All right, Scotch Beck, you're leading this off. There's a whole pile of people to choose from.
I don't think there's a clear 1-1 in my opinion.
Looking at my list, I was like, no way.
Yeah.
There's not any. This is going to be such the most subjective draft
Oh,
ever.
it's clear as
Yeah.
fuck.
I think there's a couple. I think 2 or 3 1-of-1s that
Yeah.
can happen. But
I mean, there's definitely a top 3 or 4 for sure. I think a bunch of them could be swapped in at one, but so like in my opinion, like what makes a good man child, spoiled. Obviously, it's by their choice. And then it's like something's very common. Like looking at a lot of these, it's like they always the story is they start off, and they have redemption at the end, for the most part or whatever. So
There's always a very beautiful woman that falls in love with them.
Usually,
It's like the
way
most
out of their league.
unrealistic shit ever.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm gonna have to go with Billy Madison as my first pick.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah.
not a bad pick. It's not a bad
Yeah,
pick. I don't think it's the 1-of-1, but it's not
I
a bad
almost
pick
wore
at
the
all.
T-shirt, and yeah,
But again, wearing the T-shirt, I will say one of the
Oh, yeah,
caveat we said, you're not picking any duos. There's a lot of duos in movies that are both considered to be a little bit more immature. You got to pick one or the other.
Yep. So, yep.
I don't think that's a bad pick. I think that's in the top
Yeah.
6 for sure.
yeah, I don't think it's bad. I think it's so obvious that I kind of put them at the bottom of my list because I didn't.
You didn't
honestly,
get dropped to you. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I think they'd all been gone.
Let's see if Zach picks it. This obvious, amazing number 1 pick.
I think
Zach.
without a doubt,
Second pick.
it's Jim Carrey as Lloyd Christmas in Dumb and Dumber. I think is the 1-of-1.
Yeah, that was what my 1-of-1 would have been too. I thought that would have. I didn't think it would get to me, but I thought that's what I would have picked if I had a number 1 pick.
I'm very interested to see at this point. I mean, Lloyd Christmas is great.
Yeah.
That would have been my number
I'm
one
interested
pick.
to see where Harry goes if he does at all.
Right.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So,
Lloyd, I think, is
Interesting.
definitely the more immature of the two. All right, so
all right,
my pick.
team 3.
All right, so the problem with creating a list that has so many names on it is picking the right one and not picking the wrong one, and hoping that Brad doesn't get either of the or the other one that I want after the wrap.
I get 2 in a row here, so
I'm gonna go, and I've got my list separated into 4 different categories: top picks I think are sleepers, picks that I think would be average picks if they're there still, and all the other ones are gone, and then very final, no other choice, have to pick these guys.
I'd go with that first.
So I'm going to go ahead and pick from my top pick section.
I'm struggling with that because I want to pick some of my sleepers just to be like,
just to make
oh,
sure
you
get
didn't
'em.
think of that, did you?
Yeah.
But then it's going to be like, he's going to be like, that got you 0 points for that round. And I'm going to
So-
be like, fuck you.
Yeah, because I'm debating, well, will someone else think of that? I can get it
Exactly.
later. That's the tough part about this.
Sounds like you're
this
overthinking it.
I think I am.
I love it. I love
so-
it. It's showing
Haven't
the
done that
fact that he
before.
cares about this, and this is important.
I absolutely love that. Always
So-
appreciate that.
I am going to go with someone who I think is the embodiment of a man-child in this role, and it is Alan from The Hangover. Alan from The Hangover.
Great.
Damn it.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yep.
Oh, that was so
I
not
just,
getting back to you.
No, I know that
Why
one wasn't.
did you do that?
So I had him lower on my list only because I just figured he wouldn't be there. So I didn't want him up on the top. I didn't have him in my top 4, which actually he is. That's a good pick.
He almost gets the 1 of 1 just for the scene where he opens the car door into the baby's
Oh,
house.
dude, that's one of the best things.
The best things I've ever seen.
I was so excited for that because you just mentioned talking about redemptions. He never really has much of a redemption, like
Not
in
really.
throughout any of the movies.
No, he calls the tux guy at the end.
Yeah.
He does do that.
He
calls the
also
tux guy.
he also Rain Man's all the money
Yes,
at the blackjack.
yes,
That's
That's
true.
his big
Yep.
redeem.
But he still consistently stays kind of who he is throughout
Right.
all 3 of them.
and no unbelievably hot woman
Right.
That's
goes
true.
for him either.
Yeah.
So
Oh
That's a
gosh,
good
I
choice.
was,
Low
I was
interest at
so
all, huh?
excited having the 4th pick because I was like, if Alan gets to me, like I felt my rap was going to be just
Devastating.
crazy great.
Yeah.
Now I got to think.
you're gonna go-
I have
you're gonna
one.
go-
I have one already kind of.
You were going to go Alan
situated.
and Luke Skywalker back to back.
Oh, there's a lot of good Pixar man children. Okay. I think I know where I'm going to go, and I'm going to stay away from characters that at least actors that have already been picked. So my first is going to be one that maybe I'm hoping it's not on somebody's list, and it'll make me happy if it's not on somebody's list.
Ooh, I
but
like those for first picks.
I'm going to go ahead and take. No, I think, but I.
No
but
one's
I,
thinking
no,
of.
I'm going to take one I hope no one has on their list
I'm
first.
thinking though, if you didn't think of it, you're going to realize, oh shit,
shit.
that is a number 1 pick. I'm taking Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Okay, so I thought
He's
we
at
were
the
going
bottom of my
non-mentally ill people. What is happening?
Whoa! No. They'd never say anything that he has any disabilities or.
They don't say anything, bro.
Well, Alan, you could argue that same thing for Alan, right?
Look what Pee Wee does, dude.
Dude, I love this pick. I think it's
No, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I love it.
yeah.
I think
It's
it's
a great
great.
pick.
I think it's
Are
boosts my
people not
chances of
thinking
not
this
being
is
last.
deserves? It's not
No.
deserving of number 1.
You're right. I didn't think of it.
I hope your team fucking sucks balls and dies in the
So
ocean.
he's
Scotch, I want your honest opinion. Are you saying this because you're being a dick? Or are you saying this because that is actually a pretty good pick?
Well, I'm being a dick no matter what I say.
Yeah. No, it's a terrible
I,
pick.
th- I,
Great
I
job.
did not see this coming, and I'm actually surprised, and I think that could be a sleeper.
Pee Wee Herman talks to inanimate objects. He's got fucking weird
Dude, his little cereal breakfast contraption at the beginning, it's so
Dude, the guy
childish.
grooming him, Doc Brown, made that for him.
Grooming? Why is Pee Wee getting groomed by Doc?
Have you seen all the?
Oh, they're in the same universe? Is that what we're saying? Oh shit!
That's exactly what we're saying. He
Pee
got
Wee
too
lives in
old.
Hill Valley?
He got too old and he moved on to Marty.
What I love about this pick is that's going to be really tough on the judge. I think the judge is going to.
It's going to be easy on the judge because the judge is going to be like, "What the fuck?"
So
It could go either way.
I think
that's interesting.
Hindsight, I think, is 2020. Obviously, and we all have expressed how we felt about this pick. He could have got it with the very last pick in the draft.
Absolutely.
1000%.
Oh, I
And
know.
so I think,
but
yeah.
this is how I win this
You
type
gonna
of
pick
thing.
large
This is how
march
I win.
next?
What's your rapper?
My Rapperito here. I'm gonna go ahead and take.
The robot from Wall-E.
Somebody I feel like has just no even. Oh no, see it. No, that's an actor. I'm not going to do that.
Samwise
All right,
Gamgee.
I'm going to go ahead and take. And God, this might just expose me of who. Like the judge is going to know who I am if I take this as my second.
You want Dobby the house elf?
I'm going with an
Dobby.
actor. I'm going with an
Dobby.
actor. I'm just choosing between two roles from the same actor.
The robot from Short Circuit.
I'm putting the
Going
shirt
two
on.
roles,
I'm
same
taking.
actor.
I'm taking Brennan.
Okay.
All right.
I'm taking
That's a good
Brennan.
pick.
Step Brothers.
That's a great pick.
That's a good pick. Why did you lead us down this path thinking you were going to go completely off the rails and then you take the T-shirt?
Now, why I'm picking Brennan over Dale is because
He's a better character.
Dale actually has had a job. Like he was kind of working. Like Brennan's just an absolute piece of shit.
He was just working at PetSmart. Thank you very much.
Dale was.
No, Brennan was.
Are you picking?
Do you mean Will Ferrell or John C. Reilly?
Or John C. Reilly?
I want Will Ferrell. Did I
Yeah,
just
you're
fuck it
picking
up?
You're
Brennan.
picking Brennan. then.
Yeah.
You're
That's
picking
Brennan.
Brennan,
And
but
he worked at
he was
PetSmart?
working at
Picked
PetSmart.
the
Yeah.
PetSmart.
Oh shit! See, I just fucked it all up.
Yeah,
well.
let go. He didn't get fired.
Yeah,
let go.
they
You wouldn't know anything about that.
they're restructuring.
Hey, Brad, we just did a podcast on this, dude.
I know.
I got laid off.
All right, so there you go. We're back to you, Walter.
All right, this is tough. So the only pick on my top picks list that has been taken so far is Lloyd Christmas.
Ooh.
Pee Wee Herman was at my bottom of only if I have to take
So
him.
you thought of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought of it, but he was at the very bottom.
Pee Wee Herman was on a list of characters that don't fit the category.
But-
He's absolute man child.
and Billy Madison was down there too, only because I think that the Adam Sandler ones are too obvious.
Well, too obvious.
Can we do?
But-
Is Pee Wee? Is he a?
Pedophile.
I mean,
He jerked off in an adult movie theater. He's not a pedophile.
No, he was misunderstood.
My question is he like a? What do you? I was talking about it a couple weeks ago. When your family leaves you money.
Oh, what's it called?
A
Nepo
Nepo
baby.
baby?
Not Nepo baby. Where they leave you like money, like it's like your
Trust fund?
trust fund.
Inherited?
Was he a trust
Trust fund
funder? Is
kid?
that? Are we assuming that Pee Wee is like a trust funder
You think
that-
Pee Wee made all that money to afford that bike and shit?
in his house
He's
with the
been selling his
inventions?
body, dude, for a while.
Do you think anybody's ever thought about his backstory?
I really wonder about his backstory.
You
Like
think
he's got a nice house.
You
in a
think
nice
he's got
neighborhood.
passive income? Is that what the thoughts are? He's been investing.
just got a real estate network that pays the bills for him.
He's got some side
Got a
hustle or
bunch
something.
bunch of rentals in Arizona.
Okay, Walter, what do you got?
I've got my pick, and I think that I could hold off on this pick, but I think it's a really good one. So just in case I can, I'm going to take it now.
Yeah, that always works good.
Let's do it.
Bluto from Animal House. That's who I'm going to take. Classic Belushi.
That's Belushi.
I think it's the role that kind of started this whole man-child, immature
It's
party
Gonna go-
guy.
that's going to go
So,
huge with the fucking.
But is he
guy
a
we have
man
as
child or is he
judge.
just a fraternity dude doing fraternity?
He's an immature
shit?
fraternity dude.
So-
He's immature. He's
I had him lower on my list because I thought I could steal him late. So you actually took that from me as a last rounder. And the thing about Bluto is he's been in college for 7 years.
That's true.
And he has a 0.00
yeah, so he's
GPA. And so to me, I absolutely think that's a man child.
So he's a trust funder too. Then
So yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
he's a,
And you know he didn't
lifetime-
go-
he's a legacy. Like people, whoever. Yeah.
he didn't get there right after high school. He fucked around before he went to school, so he's at least 30.
yeah.
Okay.
I like
Walk around
Good
before
pick.
he went to school, or he was just in school for that long.
Well, I mean, I think that I don't know his history. I'm going to make it up right now. He left high school, fucked around, had to move out of his parents' house, so they paid for him to go to college, and then he's been there for 7 years.
I think he went there as a freshman, and he's been there for 7 years, and he's like a sophomore. His parents are still paying. And I
right,
say that from
Zach.
That's my
experience.
second pick.
All right, Zach. You've got Lloyd Christmas so far.
So my number 2 pick is still on the board,
Love
and,
it.
I'm going to take it.
Do it.
Andy, Steve Carell's character in the 40-year-old version.
Yeah.
I like that.
that was on my top list section for sure.
Because boobs feel like bags of sand.
Squeezing them.
Okay. Speaking of being in college for 7 years,
This is a great transition.
a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
Yeah.
Do they?
They're called doctors.
I'm going with Tommy Boy.
Oh, there you go.
Tommy Callahan.
So far I have a theme of characters where the movie's named after him.
I think that's a top pick though.
I think you should do that again.
To get that at number 8 is ridiculous.
That might
It should
get
be
bonus
ashamed.
points to the judge. Who knows?
That's what happens when people pick Pee Wee Herman in the first round.
I'm very excited about my pick. I really am. I am super stoked. And I think there's a lot of people that, you know what, that is a correct pick.
Yeah.
The Belushi pick, I feel like, is going to just go for so many points because fucking the Gov's like 47,000 years old. And he's going to be like, oh, I remember that movie on my 50th birthday. We went and saw it at the theater.
I love it. Preemptive old shit about Govs. And Scott is sitting here smiling because he's like, I'm off the hook today.
I saw that at a drive-in.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got another pick.
My last pick for a while.
Yeah, until the final pick of the draft.
Man, neither one of those are coming back.
That's true.
Actually, I'm looking at like 4 of my picks that I don't think are going to make it back.
I can see him shining off your blue eyes. I can see the ones you're talking about. Yeah, those definitely not coming back.
Yeah. Is it sure? It's not.
You should probably take it
my
right
forehead.
now. Just take it right now. I mean, why is your forehead? It's any part of your head.
All right, I'll take the other T-shirt. I'm taking Dale.
That's not a terrible pick.
No, I think they should have both been picked for sure.
Yeah,
they should have both been picked in the
gone
draft
by now, and I have to take. It's a safer pick. I'm a as we heard last week, I'm a John C. Reilly super fan. Everything he does to me he's funny, he's brilliant, he's talented, and so I just want him on my team.
Yeah, my favorite John C. Reilly quote from that movie is when before Brennan and his mom move in. He goes, "We make jerky. We like to walk around naked." Like he's just going.
Dale, we've done none of those things.
Never none of those things.
We go on riverboat gambling cruises.
That's over now.
We talk about pussy.
She's had the old bull. What if she wants the young cat? So great.
Oh man! Yep. All right, Zach, you're back on board here, man.
This is like
put some pressure on Walter because
what is it called?
He's looking cocky over here.
This is like shooting bigs in a barn. Is that what it is?
Is your third pick still on the board?
All right. No, but my fourth pick is, and I'm not joking. I'm going Ben Stone, Seth Rogen from Knocked Up.
That's a good pick.
That is a good one.
And that again, there's a lot. It's like at first when we thought of this category, I thought it was gonna be tough, and then the more you get into it, the more you realize, oh shit, there's actually a lot of really good characters out there.
You could just go every Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, and Seth Rogen movie, pretty much.
Well, I just love that in Knocked Up, like their whole business plan is like we're gonna do, and then somebody just
already done.
Somebody just was like, "Oh, you mean like Mr. Skin?" It's like, what?
Mr. Skin?
It's like trying to do the face.
Paul Rudd.
Oh, that's so great. That's a good pick.
I like it.
All right,
it was on my list.
It was like third round for me.
There's one that Brad.
It is the third round.
There's one that Brad hasn't taken yet. That I'm just floored that he hasn't taken.
Me
yet.
too.
Wow, you guys put a lot of. Faith
I know what your
in
next pick is going to be if Walter doesn't grab it.
We shall see. I've got 2 picks.
Well,
so maybe I take
all
right.
So I've still got some of my top of the list people on here, but I kind of want to.
I'm not going to give you advice,
go off of it. Go away from your instincts. I like
go
that.
away from that.
You should definitely do that. Uncle Buck's still on the board.
Why do you do this? You always do this. You give away picks.
No one's picking Uncle Buck.
All right.
I didn't even think about that one.
He's got his shit together too much, but it's close.
Yeah. I like that pick a lot for personal reasons.
I love Uncle Buck.
It's such a good movie.
All right, so this is, I think, a borderline based on one of the criteria you said earlier, but I'm going to go with Stifler from the American Pie series. I mean, they're graduating in the first movie, right? So he's technically an adult.
So close. Yeah. No, I think I'll take it just because I love Stifler, but
and he's also the same throughout the rest of the movies.
Yeah.
But I can't pick him from every movie, right? So
yeah.
So should I put like American Wedding or should I put American Reunion?
Pie, American Pie 2. Which one you got?
I feel like American Pie 2, he's just a high school.
No, he's graduating in the first movie, and I think, you know what? I think he's old for his class. I think he's 18.
He was a super senior.
He's a 19-year-old senior.
All right. So you want me to just leave it as I put, because what I've been doing is names and then the movie. So I'm putting Stifler, American Pie.
Yeah, I think that's fine. And if that, if that doesn't kill it for me, my next pick will.
I think it's going to hurt you. But here we go. All right. I'm wondering. See, there's some just classics, and based on the Pee Wee hate, I feel like I just shouldn't go to. But we also have an old ass judge.
What does Pee Wee have to fucking do with anything, dude?
It's such a great pick, but you guys are acting like it's not
involved in this draft is insane to me.
That's wild. That's crazy talk.
It's the first time hearing the podcast. That's
all right.
Kind of what we do to your picks.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You guys do to my picks.
All right, so my next pick here. Oh boy, there's 2 that I
boy.
Oh boy.
One is obscure though. There's gonna be people that are gonna listen to this podcast.
Boy.
There's people listening to the podcast that are just not going to appreciate this movie maybe on the level that I do.
Your caveats are great.
And I'm going to go ahead and take Brody Bruce Mallrats.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I knew
I thought it was going to get way wilder too. after
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that
Brody
process.
Bruce.
I think that's a 20th pick or so. Where are we at in the picks? That's close.
That's like 9.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Sega. And Brody Bruce Mallrats.
I
love Mallrats.
I saw that in my research, and I go, either Brad or you or
See, I thought that's the one you guys were saying. Like,
No,
you can't believe I haven't taken.
There's still one that I'm just astounded
Yeah.
hasn't gone yet.
Okay. Well, maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't. And I'm looking here. See, I'm trying to be diverse. I'm trying to pick people that have not been drafted as actors previously.
Yeah, obviously you are.
smart.
You're like, I'm going to pick someone that doesn't even qualify for the category. I
And
take
that's-
Pee
and
Wee
it's-
Herman with my first pick.
And you know what? I'm going to pick another person that has not been picked yet for my last pick.
Oh, that's
I
pretty
hope
good.
you do. That's how it works.
No, I mean, actor-wise,
Like
has not
ever?
been picked yet.
Okay.
I'm taking Derek Zoolander from Zoolander.
That's a great.
That's a good one. That's a great, especially for the 4th round. That's a great pick.
That's your number one pick.
That's the best pick of your draft. Actually,
God.
Brennan was actually a good pick.
When
That's
you
fine.
are the
What is this?
defending
A school for
champ
ants?
who won
Merman
from
Pop.
third position last or our last draft, you start getting a lot of shit from people.
I love the monologue that what Scully does or Mulder. I forget the actor's name.
David Duchovny.
Yes, that
But
Duchovny
why
does.
male
but,
models?
But why male models? All improv because Stiller forgot his line. That's so
He's
great.
like, I
just told you.
I just explained the
I
whole
just
thing.
told you that. That's a great pick.
All right, well, you get your final pick, and I don't think I
Yeah.
picked the one that you were assuming I might.
No, I don't. All right, so
Go deep. Go
I
deep
love
on
when
your-
sometimes we say that when we're drafting, we're like, they're probably gonna take that one, and you're actually kind of hoping it's taken so that like you don't have to worry about it, like you can choose something different. That's the way I do it sometimes.
this is tough because this is the problem with so many on my list and only 4 picks is that there are lower picks that I wanted to pick, but you guys didn't pick the higher picks. Right. So now I'm thinking I got to pick the ones that I thought were better.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with.
Don't worry about it because I won this draft. I just
Okay.
looked at my
Yeah, I'm
list.
sure.
My 4
I'm sure.
picks are amazing.
God damn it! All right, so I'm gonna make the pick right now. Frank the Tank from Old School.
That's a good pick.
That's a good one.
That's-
Kind of.
I like it.
And here, it's fine. It's good. My,
Wow, great endorsement.
It's fine. It's good. I
well,
guess.
I thought about the old school ones, and I guess because they're all already, they do go back and then they start the fraternity, so it does count. I was thinking like when the movie starts out, they're in that spot, so I get it's like that's good.
So
he
I will
goes
say,
streaking through the quad.
I know,
and into
I know.
The gymnasium.
I love
you
the
are
movie.
heavy on kind of frat boyish, and I put Alan into that category too because Alan
Right.
seems like he was the weird guy in a fraternity that probably he went to some school and was the weird strange kid in the fraternity, but he had a lot of money and so people hung out with him because like he would buy shit and stuff. So I think that's
I
got,
like it.
You
That's
got
better,
fraternity team.
better than Pee Wee Herman.
I do. Yeah, I am.
Fuck
heavy.
off,
Zach,
you've got last pick or your last pick, not the last pick.
You guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna throw the draft,
Which
Do
is
it.
something you've done before.
and I'm gonna go with a problematic actor in a problematic part.
Oh,
Oh, great.
Kevin
Is it-
Spacey is in this.
I'm going Kevin Spacey as Lester Burnham in American Beauty.
I like Pee Wee Herman a lot
That's-
better than that pick.
Interesting for a lot of different reasons.
The ultimate man child. He literally
undresses a high
has a
school
psychotic break. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, "Oh, I'm 16 again. I'm listening to Pink Floyd and driving around in my car,
Smoking
and lifting
weed.
weights and smoking weed and trying to hit on high school girls."
Oh yeah, no, hey,
wanna
that's
change my last pick.
that's a very Zach pick, and I
To
love
Matthew
it.
McConaughey.
That's a very nice pick.
Okay.
All right, Scotch, you get whatever you were hoping to get, you got it. Because I think these are some interesting picks the last since it's gone to you.
It has been interesting. And my last pick can be summed up with 2 words.
Oh wow.
Chaz from Wedding Crashers.
You just got to hit the Will Ferrell well hard.
Okay, let me count real quick. How many Will Ferrells did we get? We've
think there's
got
3.
I only have
Three.
1.
I've got 1. Scott's got 1, and you've got 1.
So 3. So he went 3 times. That Will Ferrell definitely was-
only one Adam Sandler.
And
Only
nobody
one Adam
and nobody
Sandler.
went Elf.
Well, we'll get. You guys were expecting me to.
That's
I understand.
Yep.
I understand.
And that was going to be my other pick.
No, I can't believe you didn't go Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Hey, we got
That's what I thought you were
also
saying.
round five.
And I think
we'll
there's a
get to
bigger.
also
I think there's a bigger man child in that universe. But
We'll discuss that.
And his name's Brody Bruce.
I have to piss
All right.
so bad.
So, hey, yeah, before we all piss our pants, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we will be back with our judge to dispense some justice, and we'll talk to you in just a little bit.
When the criminal justice system fails, it fails hard. Innocent lives are ruined, guilty perpetrators go free, and communities suffer. But what if we told you that the flaws in the criminal justice system run deeper than you think? Join us on the Broken System podcast as we explore the cracks in the criminal justice system. From racial biases to wrongful convictions, we'll investigate the issues that are driving our justice system to the brink of collapse. We'll bring you the stories of those who have suffered under the broken system and the experts who are fighting to make things right. Together, we'll ask the tough questions and demand real change. Are you ready to take a closer look at the flaws in the criminal justice system? Tune in to the Broken System podcast, available now on all major platforms.
Bathymetrics, YouTube assist. Gonna point out all the shit that we missed. It's the draft judge, crushing dreams once again.
What do?
Gosh, that's Downer Zach right there. Listen to that like the little ending of that song. He's such a
What
downer.
do Tina Turner, Raquel Welch, Lisa Marie Presley, Tony Bennett, Jeff Beck, and David Crosby all share in common?
Same death date.
They all died this year, according to Entertainment Weekly.
Great.
Yeah, why are you such a downer, my friend? Like, this is supposed to be like an uplifting, funny podcast, and then you talk about Tony Bennett leaving his heart in San Francisco.
Left his heart in Lady Gaga, apparently, is what she's saying.
I don't even know what that means.
The only thing you left in her?
Oh. Hey, folks, this is the time where we invite our draft judge to come in and really get to the bottom of our pod.
I think we're there.
That's where he deposited it in the bottom.
To really get to the bottom of our draft abilities. So
It's better.
we've got Gubs here. Gubs is here, who has been a part of our podcast for quite a few years now, and he is
A few years.
a couple of years at least.
Both years, I think.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. What we've been around a little bit.
Couple
I
seasons.
think we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary.
We're like the Tony Bennett of podcasts.
Anyway,
We've been
sorry.
podcasting since 2004,
Teen.
before the iPod even came out. You don't remember that?
I don't.
Well, you're kind of old, so. All right, Governor, you are here to dispense justice.
What would people listen to they have to listen to our podcast on Prodigy, dial up.
I was posting it on my MySpace. You didn't listen to it back then?
Dude.
Downloaded it from a BBS on my 300 baud modem. Zach's like, what the fuck is a 300 baud modem?
I know what a BBL is. What's a BBS?
BBC.
Oh, that was my modem connecting. Sorry.
Those awful sounds.
Yeah. Govs, you want to give some determinations on how you judged this whole thing?
Yeah, what was your first internet provider?
So it was phone lines. It was using my Commodore
64.
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, to use a 300 baud modem and connect
Go to a BBS.
One person could be online at a time.
Yeah.
And what would you do on there?
You could look at message boards and play really
weird
basic games.
Yeah, like they were very much like you take a turn and then a day later somebody might take their turn.
Well, the good thing was you could illegally download cracked games. It would take all night to fill a like a little floppy disk that now would take you like 1 second to download.
Yep.
Love it.
So actually probably a second to download like every Commodore 64 game ever made.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
that sounds really funny.
I don't know why that got brought into this. I wanted to know how you judged our most memorable man-child / immature adult character draft.
So I only brought it up because Zach likes to make fun of my age, and I just
Oh, he did it while you weren't here. Justin.
I may
so
you'll have to listen later.
I spent last week. My birthday was 3 days ago. I just turned 50, so it was a pretty good one.
Oh, wow.
Is that what it was?
It was 50.
Dude, you really had the 5-0?
5-0.
Congrats, my friend.
Thank you. So
you don't look a day over like 49.
Teenagers tell me 39. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, but I appreciate you. Like, I like that.
It's because you're so tall, dude. They're looking at you from a different angle.
Yeah.
So, when I read the category, it seemed a little convoluted. It was like man-child / immature actor. And I was like, ooh. I'm a little nervous because I feel like I can think of a bunch off the top of my head. And I wonder if you guys are going to come up with some that I didn't even think of or knew, but didn't think of right off the top of the bat.
I got a feeling you knew all of these characters.
Well, there's a bonus that comes into play here. So,
oh boy,
ooh, is it the bonus that you get if the character doesn't qualify for the category?
If it was a movie that was out before Zach was born,
oh shit,
I gave it 50 extra. No,
free 83, but
right, yeah. So no, so I kind of pride myself on the categories a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but I came up with 4 categories, and only 2 of them actually got used. So I was a little disappointed. So
we usually try to take all of your categories.
This is when Nate jumps in normally and reminds me. So to remind our listeners, you take all of our picks, you rank them, and then you do reverse order points. And like first place gets 16 points, and on the way down, and then adjust for bonuses.
It's good to know.
Govs is one of our. He as a judge, he gives away a lot of points. There's definitely going to be a lot of points involved. We appreciate this.
I had 4 categories.
Not for your team.
My first category was inseparably infantile. Like, if you're part of an equally funny duo, or it could have been 3, but usually seems like it's duos, I gave you 2 bonus points because to me it takes a little bit of balls to pick something and go, oh, this could be split, and it could fall below what some great characters could do.
Okay.
My second one was the Tim Beck tax.
Okay.
If you made a great pick, and in my brainstorming I didn't even think of it, I'm like, fuck, I'm an idiot. So I gave it a bonus point for that.
Okay.
The 2 that didn't come into play, I was a little disappointed, was the reviled man-child. If you picked a man-child who's just a shitty character and like no redeemable qualities, I was going to take points away. And then a line from the T-shirt. This is going to sound weird, but for a second, I think you took on the shape of a unicorn. If you guys actually picked a woman for the immature,
I was wondering if
character, because it's man-child / immature adult,
right?
And I was
we left it open.
I came up with a bunch. I was like, I was talking to my wife. I'm like, why are all the fucking idiot man-childs or immature people? They're always men.
Most of the time,
because I think the target audience, I think it makes sense because we just think shit's funny.
I love stupid shit. I grew up. I still laugh my ass off at like old Three Stooges episodes. I'll rewatch an Impractical Joker skit I've seen 7 times on TV. My wife's like, I gotta leave the room. I can't watch this. This is stupid.
So when you came in, it was funny because first thing you asked us was like, was there any like regrets right off the bat? Which I always thought, wow, that's a really interesting way to start the conversation. So I can't wait to see what you came up with and what you think. Now, in your opinion, like what makes a good man-child?
So I had a category. I can't even remember what I called it. It was like once in a while infantile, but I figured I'd just come into the scoring. Like if it's just something you do dumb a little bit of the time, or it's not even like half of your screen presence.
Right.
No, it was going to...
So it's
way low, like
right. So it's like if it's a way of life type thing,
yeah,
it weighs heavier than
just
a partial.
It is you. It's not. Oh, I had 4 beers and now I'm a freaking idiot.
Right.
You got to be a little bit of a knucklehead to start.
What if you had a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
I mean that would potentially permanently affect you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I love it. So
how about we find out? You're always big with the numbers. We'd like to hear in order from bottom to most without any team names. What? I said bottom
from bottom to
most. Least to most.
That's how it usually goes, right?
From bottom to most. Yep. Those are
least
the 2.
to top.
Yeah.
Least to top. So from Jennifer Lopez to
just the scores. What are the scores?
All right. In 4th place, 30 points. 3rd place, there was a tiebreaker.
Oh, okay. Can't wait to find out how that works.
I settle it in a second. No cards or dice involved today. In 3rd place, 36 points. In 2nd place, 37 points with the bonus. And in 1st place, 41.
Okay.
So difference of 11 from bottom to top.
Fairly tight.
Last place was lagged a little bit.
I do, Govs, got to give you some props because there's multiple people we have talked to about the Vegas draft judging.
Oh, yeah.
When people heard that you were getting dice out and like making cards involved, people were losing their minds. Like they were like, "That's pretty epic."
Nate stopped by my house to drop some cherries off not long after, and he's like, "That was my favorite judging episode ever," which I really took to heart since he took last place.
Josh from Colorado was recently listening to that on an airplane, and he said as soon as he heard it, he got so excited he slapped the window.
Yeah, he was flying and he just slapped the window. I'm sure that looked a little odd, but that's what he did. So, yeah, some good props for you. All right, so we've heard the scores without knowing who is finishing where. Before we do that, Walter, how you're feeling about your draft? How do you feel so far?
What's your gut?
There's pressure for the guest.
I know, and I just don't want to be in last place.
That's a good place to be. It's a good place to be.
I think I'm the only guest drafter who's finished in last place, so I hope to not be in last place this time.
Yeah.
I don't expect to win.
I think today, I don't think you have a chance to win.
As long
either.
as I beat one of you, that'll be.
And Walter,
that'll
what I'm
okay.
going to say is, even if you do happen to finish last, we will have you back to draft again at some point.
Yeah, so then you have to worry about someone else beating you. Is that what you're saying?
So
I'll just say,
not great about our draft. We might bring you back.
I feel pretty confident that Brad's going to get last and that you're not going to get last. So I'm just going to put that out there. Put that into the universe.
I will say
We shall
this.
see.
With this category, looking at it, I had zero clue who anyone was that drafted because it's
looking
very
at
specific. There's no horror theme for
That was
Zach
the plan.
or
Pixar characters.
bunch of rom-coms that Nate tries to sneak in there. Last second Google, we're like, when the hell did you come up with that?
I think if Nate was here, there definitely would be a female drafted on this team.
Ooh, would have paid off.
Right?
You think just intentionally he would have, or you think there's a particular character?
I think that's a pretty good bet.
I can't think of a specific one because I'm not the rom-com king. What did he call himself?
I thought of a couple.
The beacon of light for rom-coms.
He did say he was a beacon of light.
Something crazy.
He did say he was a beacon of light, which I stand behind. It's fucking ridiculous.
All right, let's get to the down and dirty here and start finding out, because there's going to be a lot of also rans. We do have a lot of also rans to talk about, so let's get the judging out of here. The fourth place team with, I believe, 30 points.
Yes.
If Nate was here, hang on. If Nate was here, I think we could have done a gag where he could have done Nate's ASMR moment, and like Nate suggested, we put Nate's nuts on the drum kit, and then it would have been like just like a really soft sound, and then like a drum roll, and then he pulls it back, and then it's not a visual medium. People won't know. They'll just think you guys.
So you're saying we could have actually
amazingly dexterous
given people's
nuts.
ears a sound of Nate's nuts?
I'm saying that it could have been a drum roll, and then it would have been really funny because it would have been like, oh, what's it going to sound like? And it just sounds like a drum roll.
Could he like bounce on like chest muscles, or would he have to physically manipulate them, like grab them?
Zach has me picturing Nate's nuts trying to bounce off the snare drum. I'm like,
He's doing the roll.
I'm like, what kind of sound does that make?
That's exactly what I'm going for.
Damn it!
Never mind. Forget I said anything, Brad.
I don't know if you get that snap that you need. It'd just be kind of like,
It'd be
It'd be a little painful.
a little more of a thud. Snap.
Be a ballsy move.
It'd be a good dampener though.
Yeah.
Just lay your nuts on it. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
I like it.
So
I don't want to be here to see it, but I like
fourth place.
Fourth place.
Sorry,
in
were we
this
doing
draft.
something?
Oh, fourth place is Team 2.
Team 2 includes Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber, Andy, the 40-year-old virgin, Ben from Knocked Up, and Lester, American Beauty.
Did you understand the fucking category?
Oh, I was just about to say, who was this?
I just want to make sure that
Walter
you
threw his
understood
head
the
back. I was
category.
like, I fucked Walter here.
I legit thought my team was so strong off of my first 3 picks that I was like, I can just fuck around with my last
Your fourth pick fucked you.
Do you think
There's
he
no
threw
way.
it?
There's no way.
What does the judge say? Did the fourth pick?
I think he doesn't like any of my
It was-
picks.
I think Ben is not enough of
Ben
a man
Stone,
child.
yeah.
Like, he's kind of like...
He's a kid.
Yeah.
Still a kid.
He's like 24
Ben
years
knocked
old.
up?
Well, no, but he's still young though. He just
This is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
All right, let's go through the list. Let's
a
start.
young child
Listen
is
to the
acting
team.
like a child. It's weird.
That first pick, Lloyd Christmas, that's a number 1 draft pick, right?
It's amazing. It's a number 3 overall for me. Yeah.
3 overall for you. Okay.
And it got the inseparably infantile bonus because to me, you may think Jim character is funnier in that one. Whatever you want
I
to
think
say.
you're
But,
right, Scott. I think I got 0 points for fucking.
but Dumb and Dumber, I'm giving you the bonus on that.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Andy from 40-year-old virgin.
I liked it, and I actually moved it up a little bit. I know that's really making Zach feel a little better about things, but like my first thought was, okay, he's just a regular dude who hasn't gotten laid yet. No big deal. And then I was like, well, no, he has all the fucking toys and stuff, but he's not.
He can't interact with humans.
But he's constantly like pushing back against all the dumb shit that his idiot friends are trying to get him to do, because he's kind of a responsible adult. He just hasn't had sex because he's a little scared to, and hasn't had the right girl, and the toys are kind of a business thing, and you know, I wanted to move it higher.
It's not a terrible argument. I'm not even mad.
There's a lot of things I couldn't jump him over when I looked back at it.
All right, Ben knocked up.
I've only seen the movie. I've only seen the movie once.
Oh my god!
And I liked Seth Rogen in it. It was great. Yeah, but like, who do you move him above? You know, and
that's a good call.
We'll have to.
There's an all-star list in front of him. Like,
it's not
a knock on him so much as a.
We'll have to see who's on that all-star list.
In that movie, when she tells him, "Go fuck your bong," and he's, "Oh, I will," doggy style.
Sure, but he just seems like kind of a dumbass.
Yeah. That's a dumb a young 20-something would say.
Yeah,
not
totally.
a man child. Now Lester might be the oldest guy picked. Maybe Chaz.
For
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I gave Lester the Tim Beck bonus because I was like, I didn't even think about that.
I don't think anybody did.
It was beautiful. I respected it I was like, that makes sense.
And I almost gave him the reviled.
Oh,
he's pretty terrible.
Man child.
He should have got that. Wait, that would have been taking away points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you shouldn't get that.
You don't want that. But he would just, and you know, he seems like, oh, I'm trying to revert back to some stuff when I was younger. And even at the end with the girl, he's like, no, I can't do this. Like, I'm going to treat you more like a daughter than, you know, when he finds out she's actually a virgin and had the whole front and everything. So as much as Kevin Spacey is not a great dude as an actor, and that I didn't let that affect this pick.
No, that's
he's not a great dude as a person. As an actor, he's fine.
Great.
That movie,
I can separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
In his case, in a lot of cases.
All right, Team 2. Zach, I think, is quitting the pod right now.
Headphones are off. He's
walking out.
I think he's gonna go smoke.
We got to go get the grenadine.
He's gonna go smoke and get.
All right, so we do have a tie between the next two teams, and there's going to be a tiebreaker. So let's find out about that tiebreaker before we get to it, so we kind of know how this was settled.
So, I was trying to figure out a way to break this, and I thought I'm going to be a little personal with this. I'm going to look at the 4 picks from each of the 2 teams, and I'm going to say, who do I most identify with? Like, as me, because I've been called a man-child numerous times and immature more than a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Who, like, would I, if I had to play a role based on my actual life, would I be closest to? And it was a low pick, but I picked one from one of the teams.
Okay.
So do you want me to give you...
Let's start with third place. We'll find out third place before we get to the second and the first. So third place that did not win this tiebreaker.
I wish everybody could see Walter's face right now. He's in agony. He's just like... He
doesn't know me very well. So he's like,
I know.
who the fuck is Gov like?
All right.
So this guy's the same age as my dad.
36 points. Is this correct?
I'll give you a clue, Walter. I'm enjoying a beverage and I'm not willing to live what my age says I'm supposed to be. Third place, 36. Team 4.
Team 4 includes Pee-wee Herman, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Brennan from Step Brothers, Brody Bruce, Mallrats, and Derek Zoolander from Zoolander.
Who is
the
it?
fact that you picked that to go
6 points ahead of your team. 6 points ahead.
Those are great picks.
Just so you know.
Pee-wee Herman's the worst pick for the first pick.
You're talking to a guy who saw it in the theater as a 12-year-old.
Than I am to last place points.
Fucking Pee-wee Herman is the worst pick that's ever been picked. Who was his last pick?
We all
his
thought
last
that was the worst pick.
No.
I got shit on for my first pick. Which
that was my 4th
thought
overall pick. Pee-wee Herman.
That's fucking insane.
That's what I'm talking about.
Man-child. Kid.
I didn't
definitely
hate it. I didn't
older
hate it.
than
I
he
said it
looks
could
to
go
me.
either way. I didn't hate it, but
I saw that movie. Okay, so I saw that movie in the movie theater.
because it's fun.
I probably wasn't even a teenager yet.
Old
What did I
man.
tell you?
Old.
What did I fucking tell you was going to happen?
So I still, to this day, my aunt gives me shit because she dropped 3 of us off. None of us could drive yet. She dropped 3 of us off. Oh, no, she went with us and stayed with us because we were pretty young. And we came out of the movie theater, and she was like, "I don't know if I will ever forgive you
for making
me go to the."
And then you guys,
with you guys.
And then you guys got in the car, and one of you had to like crank the front of it.
Oh, definitely the windows.
So I think we all agreed that we thought that was one of the worst picks of the draft, and he could have got it with the very last pick.
It was a classic.
If he would have got it with the very last pick, would that have jumped him up?
I would put it where I put it. I'm not letting where it falls affect it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think our thing was he could have grabbed it later.
Yeah.
I think my thing was it's terrible.
I'm surprised it wasn't on everybody's list. Is what I'm.
It was on my list as like a last resort pick.
All right, Brennan, Stepbrothers. Brennan over Dale, correct pick.
I picked Dale one spot in front of Brennan, but they're both. I mean, they're interchangeable.
Okay.
They were one spot away, and they both got the inseparably infantile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, extra point.
Stupid fucking
Brody Bruce Mallrats.
That got another Tim Beck award because I've seen Mallrats, and I didn't even think about it when it came up. So I had it as my number 11 overall.
Guy wears a fucking sport coat to the mall.
It's actually I put it one spot ahead of where you guys did.
A lot of opinions.
Comics and video games. That's his life.
When I went and watched the YouTube, like section of all his different lines and everything, I was like, Tim Beck bonus. It was a good pick. I just didn't think of it.
Yeah.
And then Derek Zoolander.
I had this 12th, and you guys had it the last pick of the draft.
No.
We said no mental illness. We said
13.
no mental illness.
They went 13th, so it was 13.
Oh, 13. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't type him. I didn't type him snake. I just went.
Gotcha. Yeah, 13.
Side to side down. So I had him. I had him at 12. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
About where.
Well, damn. So that means that some of these other two teams that are still in the running are they've got some top.
Walter has already made history.
I knew that fucking
Walter.
Belushi.
Congratulations to you, sir.
I knew that.
You guys have a great night. Thanks for listening. We don't even have to know whether or not
you have officially set the bar for any guest judge ever to step in the BVK studio or outdoor studio or the Bosco's Cantina.
Right.
You've set the bar to at least second. It might be just a one that they can only tie. You might hold the record where it's like all they can ever do is tie you.
I'm going to say you tied for third. If you get second, I'm going to say you tied for third.
All right, so there was a tiebreaker. Some of our judges don't like to break ties, but Govs is not. He's got the skills to
I stand
make it happen.
I like that.
So we had that tie. They were both at 36, and I had to have the tiebreaker to add 1 point to put the second place team at 37. And I decided who would it like. I don't want to give away too much, but who defined?
I'm looking at these lists, and I feel like I think I know who decided the tiebreaker, and I'm going to take a guess.
Okay,
Frank the Tank
is absolutely Frank the Tank.
So, which means that Team 3 got second place. Team 3
Frank the Tank happening across the table.
Includes Alan from The
crazy.
Hangover, Bluto from Animal House, Stifler from American Pie, Frank the Tank from Old School, and I'm going to say that Stifler maybe was the bad pick of this.
Stifler fucked you. He's too young.
Stifler was my last pick. It's just because he was so young. Like he acted kind of like.
So if I would have said American Reunion or American Wedding, would that have helped at all? Or did you just take him as a character throughout the series?
No, it would have been better based on his age, but maybe he jumps Lester because Lester is my second to last pick.
Yeah,
but
it wouldn't have got me first.
No.
Alan the Hangover, where's this go? I want to hear because I was thinking it's number 1, but
top pick.
Number 2 for me.
Yes.
Number 2,
so
Great
high up,
yeah.
And in a movie that's so over the top ridiculous, he's the only character that you're gonna like far and away be that category of all the crew.
There you go. Bluto, Animal House. I kind of thought little young frat boy, youngish frat boy. He's 7-year veteran or whatever.
He was great, and he got the Tim Beck because I loved the movie.
Yeah.
But when I was brainstorming, I did not think of him. I did not think of it because it's college, but he's not the same age as the other college kids.
Because he's been in there for 7 years.
He's been around
with a 0.0.
So it didn't cross my mind originally, but I loved the pick and I loved the movie. I was disappointed enough that I'll call myself an idiot for not thinking of it.
All right, and Frank the Tank, where'd he go?
Frank the Tank I had at number 9.
Okay.
I mean, what a man-child in a great movie.
So 14th overall, but you had him at 9, so that was a nice little steal.
He struggles with adulthood. Alcohol comes into play. He's an idiot without alcohol. Like, just he was one of the first ones that came to my mind for this.
I'll take second place. I'll take that. That's
Second
I
place,
think that's more
Walter.
than a
It's a
redemption
win.
for my fourth place on my last appearance.
Yeah, I know
So
that's
I'll take
100% redemption. It does leave the bar. It's not at the very top though. No, so somebody could pass that at some point. But for right now, you are the king of guest drafters on the BVK pod.
I'll take it.
Someone say the queen.
You know, however you want to, whatever you want to say.
Someone say I tied for third.
Some people would say that he tied for third.
Wouldn't be me.
All right,
that'd be
so
petty.
that does leave
Let's hear about the first place team, Brad.
a first place team.
Scott's tapping.
And I'll see, like,
Did he have your number one pick?
Scotch, you went from first to worst and now back to first. So
That's what I do.
It's kind of interesting. We'll have to talk bebermetrics next time we get the four of us back together.
It seems
we're
like
gonna
I've
have
had
to
a lot
talk.
of fourths this year, which is weird.
You have, and we can
yeah.
talk about that
Yeah.
at some point. But you did have the first pick overall, and you took Billy Madison for Billy Madison,
Which I kind of got shit on a little bit. You guys didn't seem like
Number one.
Yeah,
Tommy from Tommy Boy,
I mean, how infantile is Bill? We're going to come back to that. Billy
Dale,
Madison. Jeez.
Dale Stepbrothers, and Chaz from Wedding Crashers.
That's a pretty good team.
That's a really good team.
I didn't think. I thought my team was stronger, but that's a pretty fucking good team.
Govs, take it away. What did you have here? What's going on?
Billy Madison, number one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like
Spoiled.
over the top, infantile, just goofball kid who his dad can't trust to run anything or do anything. Literally goes back and does kindergarten all the way through.
high school. Yeah,
And not always in a glorious fashion. Tommy Boy, another favorite of mine. Like Chris Farley. One of my first thoughts when I heard the draft category was there's got to be a great Chris Farley character somewhere up there. So that plays very well. Tommy Boy was number 5. Dale was number 7.
Yeah, you already said Dale was ahead of
Just one
Brennan.
spot ahead of Brennan. They both got the inseparability bonus. And then
Was Chaz an idiot's pick?
no, I thought it Chaz, but because all the motorboating scene and all that stuff was just classic and
So you're thinking you
quote
would
all the time. But I had that all the way down at number 14.
Okay.
wait, motorboat.
Chaz
Oh!
is the Will Ferrell.
Ferrell.
Will Ferrell character.
I messed that up.
the meatloaf.
Oh, you're right. I messed that
See,
up.
I should have won.
My
I think is
mind
what that
had-
means.
Interesting.
No, but
I came in
Shit.
first
So
place.
now he gets a lot of points off.
A lot of
Which
that
makes-
could be a
Oh,
cheat.
that brings you down to 29. Sorry, sucker.
I don't know if it dropped
First
him
the worst.
4 or
Walter in
5
first.
points.
Four
So,
points,
so
5
where?
points.
So
So you're thinking of Vince Vaughn's
I was
character.
thinking of Vince Vaughn. I didn't even go back and relook at it.
and where did you rank it?
All the way down at 14. So, I
So-
don't,
14.
Okay.
yeah,
So
it doesn't
I feel like Chaz actually
Will
probably.
Ferrell drops because he's not a huge part of it, I don't think.
Well, it's a tiny
Yeah, it's
scene, but he's
the Godfather.
He's living with his mom and wants meatloaf.
I shouldn't.
Yeah, so
It might have knocked you a point down.
but he didn't think
you
of
already-
it because he didn't think of the right
But you're
actor.
almost
So he
down
would
here
have got
at
the
the
Tim
end.
Beck bonus.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think this whole draft is null and void. So
Bullshit.
You know
I think
what?
it's not going to go on the record.
Scotchback actually has 42 points now.
Fuck that. It's not going to go on the record. I
Under
got second
protest.
place.
Oh, well, we have a winner here. We have Walter feeling great on cloud 9.
Nice work, Walter.
Zach,
Thank you.
you haven't, I will say, just again, this little preview of Bevermetrics, you have not lost very many drafts.
No,
This is
I think only one.
your second
Yeah.
loss of the season. So as much people try to give you shit like you had a bunch
Do
of
they?
last year.
Well, that first
People
year
don't
was
try to
rough.
give me shit.
The first year was rough for you.
This year you are
You made it
Shut
come back
up,
to it.
Scott. No,
Very-
stop.
I judged most of them. I know how rough it
I'm
was.
in first place. Shut up, Scott.
You have Scotch has double the last places of you this year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
So
I know.
all right, we're gonna move on, and I think this is gonna take us a little bit because we have a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and find out about these.
Oh,
things.
I've got the best one that I didn't think of to do. Go.
How the fuck could we miss that one? I just don't understand. It's our also ran. You idiots.
And there's that Tim Beck idiot.
Felt like he was talking
Love that he
right to
got
me right
brought right into the categories this draft. So that's good.
I've got two. Really
Also,
quick.
Rans. Let's let Govs.
No.
We got to always start with the judge.
It's not like
Hold on to yours.
You got fourth place. You have no opinions. You shut up.
I got it fucking also rounds.
You got grenadine.
I think I got a couple that I would have got more points.
Let our judge talk.
All right.
So I picked a few, and I didn't rank. I picked some ahead of time, like things that I thought were kind of obvious, or things I thought maybe you guys wouldn't come up with. and I crossed some out.
I want to hear, before you get to any, I think there's some obvious ones. I want to hear anybody that is an actor that has not been drafted yet. So do you have, what is your top one that was not actually
What the fuck
drafted?
is that supposed to be?
So like it can't be
Brad's theme.
Like, so Will Ferrell's a
it
bunch
can't
of
be
these
Adam
roles.
Sandler.
Adam
Obviously,
Sandler's
there's a
a
few
bunch
Adam
of-
Sandlers that we missed.
The actor.
There's no Will
I
Ferrell's,
misunderstood.
like no more Chris Farley's. Like what's one that is that-
Like a Wilson could have been from like Old School, or his brother from
Owen or Luke Wilson.
Yes. So one I came up with, and I don't think I would have scored it high, but where do you put a character who's actually a child but morphs into an adult's body, like in Big?
That was my first one I was going to fucking say.
Josh Baskins.
Josh Baskins
from Big.
Yeah.
It would have. That was a weird one because it's on my list, but I just didn't know how's that going to get scored.
I was kind of happy it didn't get picked because I didn't know what
How
to
to
do
score
with
it, yeah.
and we didn't talk about like
Because he is a man child in the absolute
literally a child in a man's body.
That goes against
I do too.
the spirit of what we're doing with Step Brothers. It's literally a child in a man's body, so it's not a man acting like a child.
So you're going to tell me Brad Pitt in the fucking Benjamin Button doesn't count either then? That's what you're going to tell me?
Well, not in this
I'm
category.
not going to tell you that because I'm
Would've
not
sucked.
talking about that right now. I'm just talking about Big.
Govs. Not it was Benjamin
85-year-old
Button.
baby.
Did that come across your mind?
No, because not a man child. I don't think. Mr. Bean. From the Mr. Bean, there's a couple movies.
yeah.
97.
Yeah.
Zach was finishing high school up, I think.
Worth mentioning, but not.
Okay.
97. You were. I graduated in 97, so you were going to be
I
a
was
freshman.
not even a freshman yet. I was an 8th grader.
I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I was already in the toiling away in the
Walter had
working
just had his
career
first beer.
Yeah.
You're an old man, Navin R. Johnson, the jerk.
Yeah.
That would have got Tim Beck Award because that's a fantastic movie.
That was on almost every list that I tried.
See, I didn't look at a
looked
lot of
Yeah.
lists. I didn't look at a ton, but I'm a little embarrassed I didn't pick that. But it's old. You guys didn't pick it.
It was definitely, if some other things we got picked out of the way, then it
The
was
new phone book
next.
is here.
Yeah. How about Buddy the Elf?
Elf was definitely. I didn't even put it on my potential also rans because I assumed you guys were picking that for sure.
I kept getting looks that everybody thought I was going to pick.
There's just
Buddy
so
the
many
Elf.
Will Ferrells.
Well, that's the thing.
I tried to mix it up. I didn't want to pick actors that have already been
This
chosen.
could be a category dominated by like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
actors.
Yeah.
Will
Sandler,
Ferrell, Adam
Ferrell.
Sandler,
But I would have to.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey didn't even.
and not a single Jim Carrey pick.
No, there was one.
Lloyd
Lloyd
Christmas.
Christmas.
Oh, that's,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. That's
So
right.
yeah,
Sorry.
but, so that would have been good.
Ace Ventura did not get picked. That's I think one that's kind of surprising.
That was on my list.
Sorry, Josh Barton.
A
We
long
apologize.
shot would have been Rod Kimball and Hot Rod, but that's kind of that fringe.
I have him on my
stuff.
list right here. Rod Kimball. That
Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead. Would have took maybe Nick Frost could have
Nick Frost
placed
character.
either of Nick Frost.
either
characters.
Ed or
Yeah.
what was
Yeah.
his name?
Are we
Danny?
saying Ricky Bobby has problems?
No, because he just wakes up in the morning. He possesses excellence.
Ricky Bobby could have been picked for sure.
Yeah, that could have.
But see, I think we
Will
got
Ferrell.
so heavy Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Or more Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not
But
ahead
not
of
as
Mr.
much.
Deeds,
Happy-
Yeah.
Big Daddy. I think all of his characters are pretty.
Again, yeah, it's one of those ones.
Mr. Deeds the least amount, I guess, but
I'd say Robbie Hart he's kind
of wedding band, staying in a small town ish. But I don't think that's necessarily him being like childish. He's just kind of stuck doing a gig.
Our boy Marky Mark from Ted.
see that's on my list. That one was on my list. I thought
Could've
about that
scored,
one. I just
right?
didn't think that it was a top 16.
Half Baked would have been super low, and it'd be hard to distinguish any of the three.
I was thinking Brian would have been the one who's the most kind of man childish.
So here's
That's
two.
Jim Brewer's
Yeah.
character.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's the one that you got to choose out of Half Baked.
I've got this giant list I told you guys about earlier, and there's a lot of them that haven't been said, and so I mean, we said Lloyd Harry could have been picked too, right? But he wasn't. Randall Graves from Clerks.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought that would have been a great pick, but I didn't take him. Ted from Bill and Ted, but then I was like, oh, he's a high school kid, right? So
yeah.
Right.
that's what pushed me off of that after we made that. Austin Powers, would that have counted? He's immature. He's
to a
not really-
degree. But it's more because of the time difference.
Yeah, it's more because he's from a different generation.
He's out of place.
Yes, I think that much sex, like Zach was saying, I think Zach takes you out of the equation a little bit.
Saul from Pineapple Express.
Getting a lot of vagina.
Okay, so Pineapple Express was... So I listened to the pod last week, and I was kind of in Brad's boat. I heard so many quotes about Step Brothers. I don't think I saw it until about 2 years after it came out, maybe a year and change, just because I kept hearing about it. I was like, I'm going to go watch that. And I also heard about Pineapple Express came out the same year. I still, to this day, have not seen it all the way through. I've watched some of it at a time. I probably started it after, some drinks and late at night. Oh, I'll try to watch it, and then fall asleep on the couch.
I have so many. I don't mean to dominate, but all the airwaves here. But I don't know. I wrote down so many I want to say.
On Pineapple Express, Danny McBride in what's the end of the what's the one where it's like the fucking end of times?
Oh yeah,
This is the end.
Yeah.
This is the end. Danny McBride, and that is absolute man child. That
so Due Date, like the streaming recommendation, had Ethan Chase's character, Zach Galifianakis' character. I think would have been really good. Joe Dirt.
That could be good.
Sidney Fife from I Love You Man, Jack Black in School of Rock. The Simpsons movie, would Homer Simpson have been a good
I have
pick for the
two
Simpsons
left
movie?
I haven't mentioned, and one of them is Homer Simpson. Because you think TV all the time, but
he did the movie.
The
They did the
Simpsons
movie.
I would have had to have scored it up there.
I was on my
little
list,
bit.
and I didn't think it would have scored well, so I didn't.
He's such a man.
Yeah.
Just a goofball. And the last one I had, I wonder if Zach has seen this movie, or Walter, much younger. Arthur.
That was the last one I was going to say.
Right here on my list, Arthur.
Kid going, what a great movie. But it's
and not
I don't know what that.
No, Arthur is Dudley Moore, not the remake that they did with what's his name?
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand was the remake one. I
didn't even see
Jesus.
But
you guys are speaking another language.
Dudley Moore and Arthur. He has some of my
Liza
favorite
Minnelli.
scenes I've ever watched.
Movie.
Dudley Moore, is that Mr. Bean? Who is that?
No. He's British. He's short.
He played Bond.
He had no idea. I have no idea.
Dudley Moore, dude.
There's some
he was an
classic scenes.
80s English comedian Arthur is hilarious.
Fantastic movie. I think they made a sequel, which was
he's a rich socialite that's just a drunk
all the time.
White Goodman in Dodgeball, another Ben Stiller character. I don't know.
Dodgeball. In fact, okay, so the category I almost went with for the unicorn line was going to be Kate's line. I like unicorns from Dodgeball, but I had to go with the T-shirt on it.
Pauly Shore or Brendan Fraser in a lot of movies, right? Son-in-Law.
But they're
Encino
always
Man.
kind of young. I feel like they're playing like early 20s, and I think that's the big distinction that I think I was trying to make was that they feel like they've got to be a little bit.
Well, they're
you're just early 20s. It's like you're still just kind of.
They're like Beverly Hills 90210. They're like, we're 28-year-olds playing 18-year-olds, kind of thing.
Last one I had was Aldous Snow from the Forgetting Sarah Marshall and
Infant Sorrow.
Yeah,
of Infant Sorrow.
Russell Brand. Now, how would this have gone?
Okay,
Jack Sparrow.
We would have had to ask some people that saw those movies.
Oh, I've seen most of them, I think. I know I saw the early.
We can just go with the original. Most people have seen the original.
I've
Jack
ridden
Sparrow.
I've ridden the ride.
I've ridden it a few times.
That would have been a tough call because
he's kind of a man child. It's
an also ran.
He's not super immature. He's just kind of like, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. I'm gonna drink.
He's just a drunk. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference.
I just came down.
I like Clark.
Clark Griswold. Maybe
I thought about
Clark Griswold could have been a good pick.
See, but he's
trying to get with the
he's not that way
hot models. He always wants to he gets road rage when with other people. He does a lot of childish characteristics.
If my wife is listening, don't take this the wrong way, but he kind of sounds like a semi-stereotypical. I'm a dad with teenagers and I'm daydreaming and in my corporate job and
When Chris was when he saws off the
daydreaming about what?
I don't know, whatever. Christy Brinkley or Ferraris or
But isn't that a childish thing to do when the little knob at the top of the stairs is loose and he just gets the chainsaw and just chops it right off?
Yeah, but a lot of his stuff is kind of driven by anger too, though.
Yeah.
I think Clark works, but it's like you have to decide whether or not being a successful adult, having a family, and holding a job disqualifies you.
Yeah, it would be too once in a while.
Yeah. Shit, nobody else? That was a good list of also rans. And like I said, we did not get into females.
Yeah, we still didn't list any. And
Don't call them females.
Well, and that's why I felt.
What should I say?
Women.
Women.
I felt a little disappointed, and I also
Actors.
almost felt insulted because I was talking to my wife, and I was like, "Didn't surely Melissa McCarthy or someone
that's what I thought of from
had to have played
Bridesmaids or
some role?" And I was like, "All the idiot man-child / immature actors or adults
There's
are
not
men."
a huge market for women.
What's the other one? His name was Sandra Bullock.
Which is weird, yeah.
Oh, Sandra Bullock had one. Yeah,
and Melissa McCarthy, where she like plays the con artist or something, and she.
Oh, they were like an FBI agent and a cop.
No, that's a different movie. I'm thinking.
There's another one where Sandra Bullock was chasing
Barb and something. Go to what's it called?
That's not what I'm thinking about.
Oh, really? All right, thanks, Scott.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't watch those movies.
We need. Who's going to come up with woman-child movie? Genre.
Well, hit us up on our socials if
please insult us if we feel like we were disrespectful, because
first pick is Christy Brinkley from fucking what's your favorite movie?
Identity Thief and Tammy.
Identity Thief. There you go.
Identity Thief with Jason Bateman is the one.
There's one where she's chasing Bradley Cooper around, and she's like it's like all about Fred or something. I don't know.
Elizabeth Berkley from.
I was going to say we haven't had that
from Showgirls.
Yeah. She's like 20 something though in that one.
That's the first man, woman, child.
Berkley.
Woman, child.
We know how much Nate or Gov likes that.
Oh man. Well, I feel like
he did a great job.
Putting words into my mouth. Are you?
He did a good job. It was a good effort for this. Is your first time doing this, right? It's really impressive since it's your first time.
Yeah. Maybe you can go back to the drawing board and work on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Figure some things
send you
out.
back to the minors.
I feel no like bias, regret, or anything, because this literally was the first draft. I had zero clue who anyone drafted because
I like
there's
that.
nothing that gave it away.
And since Nate wasn't here, I think I'm just going to put a 5, so he got 5th. I'm just going to add that to his
so I didn't get last.
You know what, though? No, because he would have picked a woman, and that would have put him out of last place. Give him the bonus points. There's got to be someone in a rom-com none of us are thinking of at all right now.
It's probably true. So the first pick, having the first pick is always, it is beneficial. I mean, some people can do it from the third pick.
Even when you squander it.
I actually was really nervous.
So third place got 16 points to tie, by the way, with the bonus. So
I will say, Walter, not only did he improve his draft standing, but he also was drafting from the third position, which is very difficult.
Very impressive.
Very difficult to do. Yep. And very few people have done anything with the third picks.
I have a very small grudge that's going to grow from this because I took third place as a guest drafter.
Well, I had taken fourth in my first draft.
I felt great not to play last, but now I'm a little bitter.
So are you gonna be trying to like push to draft something?
No, I'm not in a hurry. I like being right.
He wants to judge and draft.
I missed.
He'll be like, which team I think did the best.
The 100 points and no one else had any.
So I know this is going to sound bad.
Trust me, guys, there was no bias whatsoever.
It was really close. I only won by one.
A perfect judging.
All right, folks. So next week we're not sure exactly what we're going to do, but we will be letting you know. Check the socials.
That was a good idea.
We will always announce ahead of time so you can have some time to watch the movie and get caught up and get ready for another Bez Video Kingdom podcast.
You're the best around.
Maybe.
Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
That could be some foreshadowing. Who knows?
You're the best. The best. That's inside baseball, BVK right there. Thanks for coming, guys. Bye-bye.
I can brag your favorite podcast. The stars